First, let me explain you diagrammatically how the things will happen. Then we'll see. So what is the format of authentication we are following? OAuth using web server authentication. OAuth stands for Open Authorization. Now, which is the version of Open Authorization we are using? 2.0 version. Okay, Open Authorization 2.0. Now, how many people are involved in this act? How many people are involved in this act? Client, server, and we have authorization server. Client server and authorization server. So we had a client. Everyone listen to the discussion. Spend your time in listening to the discussion. Don't copy it. Listen first. So we know what a client is, what a server is. If you remember yesterday's example, we have created a first step. What is the first step? Create a step number 1. Create connect app. When you create a connect app, you're going to get what? Client ID. Redirect. Client response page. URL of client response. Am I right? This is what we created. Created a connect app, client ID, client secret, and client response page. Where is our client response page? Client. Right. Step number 2. Once you have created, step number 2. What we are giving? From server, collect client ID. Are you taking username, password, all this stuff? No, only client ID, client secret, redirect URL. So server will give this data to client. Step. Then step 3. Client make a request to authorization server. Client is making a request to authorization server. I'm saying request code. Step number 3, request code. Then when you request the code, server will send you code to the code is sent to callback URL page. Whichever the page, redirect URL page. So you requested a code and they send a code back to the redirect URL. Whichever the page you have given as redirect URL, to that page, the code will come. Then when the code will come, what happened? These people request access token. Request access token by sending code. Request access token by sending code. First, you requested for a code. Authorization server has sent you code. By taking this code, you are requesting for a access token. Once access token is sent, then authorization server will send you access token. Right. Authorization server has sent you then request the resource. Request the resource by passing access token. And your server will send you. So this is how we got it here. So request a code is sent to the read URL page. Request the access token is send the access token, request the data. So how many steps are involved in requesting the access token? 2 steps. First step, request the code. First step, request the code. Second step, request the access token. Once you got the access token, then you are supposed to request for the data. Is the flow is clear? Look at the flow. In the server side, what is the first thing that we have done? In the server side, what is the first thing that we have done? We have created connected app. The connected app is sent to, the connected app credentials are sent to client ID, client secret, read URL. Then the client is going to make a request to the server. Which server? Authorization server. Client is going to request to the authorization server saying that, boss, this is the procedure. Sending, boss, request a code. Once I send the code, then they have given me, once I requested a code, they have sent me the code to the callback URL. Then take the code, request for access token. Then once they give access token, then request for resource. Is that flow is clear for everyone? Everyone is good with this flow? Everyone is good with this flow? Okay. Now, let us do one example. I will try to integrate myself, I'll integrate with the LinkedIn. I am integrating with LinkedIn. So I want to access my data which is there in the LinkedIn. In the LinkedIn, whatever the data I have, I want to access. Okay. I want to access my friend list, or I want to access my comments, or my posts I want to access. So who is the server now? LinkedIn. My data is available in the LinkedIn, which I want to get it. Now, where should I create a connected app? In the LinkedIn. So I have to log into the LinkedIn as a developer. I have to log into the LinkedIn as a developer. So how do you log in? Developer.linkedin.com. Developer.linkedin.com. Log into the LinkedIn as a developer. I logged into the LinkedIn. Then we are finding here. Now what was this? So already my LinkedIn is logged in. So given. Now what was this? They're giving create. Add the logo. Just enter the primary details. Not larger than 5 MB. Let us see what will happen. Application use, education. Then website URL. Business email. So I have registered myself. So I have created a connected app in the LinkedIn. I logged into the LinkedIn like a developer. When I logged into the LinkedIn like a developer, then I got my client ID, client secret. Client ID, client secrets have come. Then OAUTH, redirect URL. So what is the redirect URL? The VF page in the Salesforce to which the code has to be sent. The VF page in the Salesforce into which we want to send the code. So what I am doing here, if I remember, I created a response page. Yesterday, I guess I created some response page. No? Okay. So I'll create LinkedIn response. This is the page to which I am expecting a code. We are supposed to go back to this. AP4 only, right? Slash apex slash this is how I create. Update. So what I have done, I have created a connected app where we got a client ID, client secret. Then they're asking, what do you want to access? What do you want to access? What do you want to access? Now I told basic profile I want to access. Okay. Update. Then the primary thing, okay, client ID, client secret got, but what is the documentation? To which URL I have to send? What are the parameters we have to send? We told client ID, client secret, depends upon system to system, parameters may be different. Client ID, client secret, redirect URL is common. Apart from this, what all other parameters we require, that depends upon the third party system. So every system will not have the same. So I am going for documentation. Go to documents. So LinkedIn documents I am opening. So in these documents, authentication using OAuth 2.0. They give this is the endpoint URL to which you are supposed to make a request. Method is get. What parameters you are expecting? Response type, code, client ID, redirect URL is callback URL, state, it can be any unique string, scope is an optional, I am not using it. First, if you use this, make a request, we are getting code. We make a request to this, we are getting code. Once you get the code, make a request to this URL, grant type, authorization code, code, redirect URL, client ID, client secret. If you send, you're going to get access to it. We're going to get access token. Once you get the access token, then they are asking you to send a request to this. If you send a request to this api.linkedin.com/v1people f1, you're going to get some basic information about a user. Right, boss? So this is the format what they have given. So let us do step-by-step procedure. Now, as per this procedure, what we require? Client ID, client secret, and callback URL. Now, the first thing that I want to tell you is how to read the data from the URL. apex page dot current page dot get parameters dot get of ID. What is that functionality? In the Visual Force, we have a functionality. apex pages dot in the apex pages dot current page dot get parameters dot get of. If you are passing any parameter in the URL, if you want to read the value from the URL, any parameters which are passed in the URL, if you want to read them, apex pages dot current page dot get parameters dot get of ID. apex pages dot current page dot get parameters dot get of ID. This is to read the data from the URL. From the URL, if you want to read the data, this is the method what we are going to use. Remember this method we are going to use in the programming. Right, boss? So first, let us go back to this. I am creating developer console. First program. LinkedIn home, LinkedIn response. LinkedIn. First, what I need? String client ID. Yesterday, somebody asked me, what if I want to take them dynamically? Then I told we have to take from VF page. Client secret. Then I have public string code. Now I have taken this public string. Chalo, let us completely get code and format. So I had constructor, callback equal to this is the callback. Now look at the format. First one, request code endpoint. If you want to request a code, what is the endpoint we had as per the documentation? Grant type, what they're expecting, code. Then we have read at URI. Connected app. Then we had client ID. I'm just taking the same to avoid typo errors. Any random string. So if you want to make a request the code. If you want to request the code, this is the format. This is the endpoint, and what is the method? Now, instead of giving this, I want to say, boss, every VF page we are requesting using URL, you are using a page reference, right? We have a habit of writing a page reference. Now that page reference is nothing but a get method only. Request code. Now I'm giving string URL equal to URL plus. Now we're giving response type URL. One more thing we missed out, the client ID. Client ID equal to. Then we have given what is the next one they're expecting. Then URL equal to URL plus ampersand read at URI. URL plus. Then we have state. This is what I give. Response type equal to code, client ID, read at URI, state equal to so and so. Then I'm giving page reference equal to if you are requesting any page, it's nothing but a get method only. If you are requesting any page, by default it's a get method. Now I'm making a request to this. When you request to this, what will happen? When you request this, what will happen? Response will come to LinkedIn code page. response will come back to this page. When the response is coming back to that page, I want to read the code from the URL. How do you read? Public void. The URL code is in the URL. How do you read the code from the URL? Apex page dot current page dot get parameters dot get off when you call this method, whatever the URL we have, from that URL, read the parameter of code. Right. Let us complete till here and see what is the output we are getting. We just done with the first step. Well equal to so page block section columns equal to 1. Now, if I might have taken the data straight away in the database, then no need of writing all this stuff, right? As we want to take the data from the UI, we are creating this. Value equal to, we are taking the value of, but I have to give here this is scope that length can be more. Here we had then we had a third one. I don't want to take the callback URL directly from the UI, so just I'm giving printed value. Right. This is how we have created, and this is the page what we received. The first thing is, whatever the third party URL we are using, that should be registered with the remote site settings. Go back to this. Then we have security controllers, remote site settings. Then we'll try to understand. Then we'll try to understand the IP. Then we will try to understand this API. Right. Then what is the other format we received here? There will be one more URL. Let me register the same also. Instead of going LinkedIn, this is also www.linkedin. So both are matched. But the third one is different here. What is the third one we had? Now, I'm assuming that it's HTTPS. If HTTPS is not working, I'll go with HTTP. I need to go through the documentation to see that. Okay. So what we have done, things are set. Come back to the page. What is the client ID we received? Client ID state. Request the code. Read URI does not match. Registered value. What is the code? LinkedIn code. ap4.salesforce.com slash. Come again. I gave a, okay. Let me check out. No. Go back to this and see what did I give. Sales. There's a bug here. I give a bug here. Bug is there. Update. Preview. Have a reference to this. Request the code. Now let's take me to the LinkedIn page where I'm entering my data. So, hello. Now, what are you getting on the URL here? On the URL, what are you finding here? On the URL, you're finding code. What is the name of the page? LinkedIn code. On the top, you're getting a code. So, that code I want to read in this page. How to read that code? Controller. Then I told action. As of now, I'm just giving code. Just to show you that we're reading the value of code, I'm taking this. Because already I logged in. It's not asking me for username, password. You received a code. Once you received the code, what I was supposed to do? Make a request for access token. If you want to make a request for access token, as per the documentation, again go back. My intention was to make a request for access token. Endpoint. When you say endpoint, This is the input. Post. Method post. We're taking one by one. Grant type. What is the grant type? Authorization code. Because they are case sensitive, just to avoid the typo errors, we are just copying it. Code, whatever the code we received in the above step. Then we have client ID, client secret. Client ID, client secret. Then read URI. These are the parameters what we receive. So what is the client ID? Client secret. This is what we have done. Request to. We have endpoint. Body plus. Then we had code. Now why I am creating like a body? It is a post method. So whatever you want to pass, that should be in the body only. Now create a request. Set method. Set body. Set endpoint, set method, set body. This is how we received. Request endpoint method body. Request. Then we are going to get a response in the form of JSON. Now in that response, what we are supposed to read? Access to. Response is in the form of JSON. I need to do it. So I have to give string, JSON string, Now we got the response. Once you got the response, right, we are trying to deserialize it. How you deserialize it? We got a response. Once we got the response, from the response we need to deserialize it. So if you want to deserialize it, I'm going to say JP dot next token. Boss, right? You speak more than me in every class. Better you sit at the back and speak. JP dot next token not equal to null. JP dot next token not equal to null. Now in this, what I am doing? If JP dot get text equal to access token, then am I recording it? Okay. JP dot get text equal to access token, then JP dot, then read access token equal to JP dot. So what was this? Deserializing the JSON. Out of the JSON string, we are going to get a lot of response. Out of all the things, we require only one attribute, which is called access token. So I wrote a small loop to get the value of access token. We know how to write this JSON deserializer, right? Okay. So it is a post method to this URL to get the access. Now let us create a page here. The same story will repeat. Only thing is one few extra attributes will join. VF page is clear. Simple page block with page block section. Request token. So what we need to give? Client ID, client secret. Then we need to give code and redirect URL. What is the code we received? So what we had here? Client ID, client secret. Then we had code, redirect URL. This is the second step. Then once you received, we are going to get access token. Let me print. We are supposed to get access token. We are getting an access token. So go back the page, client ID, hello. Client ID, client secret, code, redirect URL. If I am passing all the four, request token. What did I receive here? Right? Client ID, client secret, code, redirect URL. If I make a request, we are getting an access token. So how many steps? Finally, how many steps I made? 2 steps I have made to request the data. Finally, I have made 2 steps to request the data. Finally, I have made 2 steps to request the data. So what is the data? Access token. For getting access token, request the code, then request the token. Request the code, request the token. Will everybody follow the same procedure? Now, steps are same. Request the code, request the token. But which parameters I have to pass? That depends upon system to system. I hope you are good. Okay. Now let us go to the third one. Now what is our requirement now? We are supposed to request data. Access token we received. Now we are supposed to go for token. So let us go with this. I'll take a simple variable. I told you this is small class. It is HTTP or HTTPS. So %99% will be HTTPS only. So let me make it URL. So we had the documentation API dot endpoint. Then create a request and set the endpoint. Then we are requesting method. Request. Then result equal to response dot get. This is how we got it. So this is the endpoint URL, this is the endpoint URL, and this is a method. But what we are supposed to do? Pass authorization. Pass authorization. They are expecting you to pass authorization. Because finally, when you want a data, access token should be sent. If you don't send an access token, you don't get a data. So we are supposed to give request dot set. Who asked me to keep this barrier? Documentation. The documentation we have seen, authorization is format is barrier and pass the access token. Then we are getting the VF page. Go back to the page. Okay. Logged in. So again relog in. So we lost that ID and keyword. Again I'm giving client ID, client secret, code and related URL, request token. We received the token, request data. Now we got the data in the form of XML. Now I need to deserialize it. Just I received the data. I received the data. This is the response what I received. I received a data called person. This is the ID of my LinkedIn ID, name, last name, headline. So I gave some corporate trainer for Captain Info Solution. Right, boss. This is how we received the information. This data I received from LinkedIn. I hope everyone is good with this example. So what is the format of authorization I have done here? Code format of authorization. In this code format of authorization, what did I do? First I requested the code, then I requested the access token, then I passed the access token and received the data. So this is the flow what I have followed. So in this case, my server is LinkedIn, client is Salesforce. Everyone has followed this example. So what is this formula of authorization called? OAuth code format, or the people can call web server authentication. Web server authentication or code format of authentication. Am I clear? And most of the people will use this system. Most of the people will use this system to avoid your username passwords. I don't want to maintain your username password. I don't want to take a headache of maintaining your username password securely. Then I'll go for this format. I hope you are clear. Am I clear with this format? Right. But if you want to identify every individual, there should be what? Username, password. Now you say login with my Facebook ID. When you say login with your Facebook ID, you are recognized. It is not application to application. Application to application can have client ID, client secret, callback URL recognized. Right. But here you are recognized. I should be recognized. When I say login with Facebook, now when I open Amazon, login with Facebook. Now it should log in like Facebook with whom? Satish data. You should be recognized. It is not the application which should be recognized. In this case, which is getting recognized? Application. Generally, when you go for application levels, you will go for it. Now, who should be recognized? You should be recognized. If you want to be recognized, then you have to go for username, password, individual identification. I hope I am good with this example. Anyone has any query on this? Now go ahead with all your queries, if any. Now XML we are supposed to deserialize it. We got XML, you deserialize and get the individual data. We can also request other data. I made one example. If you want to practice, what you can do, go to REST API in LinkedIn, go to LinkedIn documents, REST API. There we are having, look at this. This is a URL to get the data, first name, last name, headline, site URL. Make a request. This will give you in the form of JSON. Right. Now like that, number of services they have given, number of updates. Go through the documentation, see all the APIs, make a number of services. For everything, one service will be there. Like posting a message, reading a comment, liking it, disliking it. For everything, one service will be there. First step is authenticate. Once you are authenticated, we can work with LinkedIn and do whatever we want. To do every operation, one service will be there. I want to like, there will be separate web service, separate URL. I want to comment, separate URL. I want to see my friend list, separate URL. I want to see whom I am following, separate URL. I want to see who is following me, separate URL. Like that, go through the documentation, practice number of examples. Now our process is, how do you authenticate? We already seen how to authenticate. Then later on, what services third party is giving, how to access is a web service call. A simple. What was that? If there is a post, make a post request. If they say get request with access token. With access token. First example, without any token, without any other authentication. Second one, with key, with access key, I have given directly. Third one, dynamically generating the access key. With this access key, how many requests I can make? One request. How many requests I can make? Only one request. I hope you are good with this. Right. So that's all from my end for the day.